प्रणाम। हरिओम। जय गुरुदेव। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभू कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ओम वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Yoga Vasishtha and the last part, Nirvana Prakarana of it. In that also second half, 25th chapter. We are discussing the story of monkey ascetic and Vasishtha. Ascetic monkey was a traveler. He met Vasishtha somehow in the way, and he was tired by the journey, continuous journey of life in this world which is narrated as the desert, where is no place to rest and no comforts anywhere. only tiredness, only exertion, and he wanted to rest somewhere. That means he was tired by the problems, miseries of life in this world. So he had dispassion towards this worldly life. He wanted some rest. As he met Vasishtha, he narrated all his problems to Vasishtha and requested him to advise how to get rid of all these problems of life. That means the miseries of life. Vasishtha was explaining him. In shortcut, the life appears to be a problem full of miseries only because of ignorance, and that ignorance is nothing but not realizing or not having the knowledge, just opposite of ignorance, knowledge of the reality. This ignorance is nothing but the veil on the reality. And this is what Vasishtha explained to him. The root cause of all our miseries in this world is only ignorance, not being able to know the reality. And this ignorance is analytically seen in four forms, and the four forms are divided into first half, second half. First half has got two causes. One is samvedan and other is bhavan. And then other two are vasana and kalana. So Vasishtha was explaining to the ascetic that first half, which consists of two causes, bhavana is important, that is the root cause of all the miseries, and that is nothing but in what words we can say? Come on. One word, appropriate. Bhavana, which is root cause for everything. Come on. Which gives rise to vasana. We have seen everything in detail. Come on. Bhavan is nothing but the preliminary, the starting thought process. Because of this thought process, which is nothing but a changing process. Because of this changing process, the reality is hidden within it. The reality is not seen, and that is the cause of all the misunderstanding, which is ignorance, because we don't see the reality. Reality is stability, absolute constancy, absolute equilibrium state. So when it vibrates, it looks like something other than itself. We heard the examples, so many different examples are given to explain it. Just as the crystal holds all the reflections of surrounding objects because of its transparency, because of its purity. It is so pure, so transparent. Whatever is around it, they reflect in it. It holds all the reflections. And otherwise, from other angle, just as the reflection of the water in the water, or the waves in the water, which is not different from the water, or the reflection of the mirror in the mirror, which is not different from itself. So, because of transparency, it appears like that. In the desert also, we see some ideas as if there is some flow of water because of too much heat. When the air gets heated up, it creates some it's a misunderstanding, as if some water is flowing there. There is some water somewhere away from you. That is mirage. Similarly, this world, which is nothing but the absolute truth itself, there is nothing other than the truth. It is one and one all the time, without a second. So this one is because very transparent, very pure, there is no other than itself. That is called purity. Because of this, it is all pervading, and it reflects within itself. We heard the example of lens house. The reflections of the lenses in different ways are reflected in other lenses, and those other reflections, they are also reflected in the reflections. So it creates some confusion. Reflections within reflections. Similarly, Everywhere in water we see, in mirror also we see. This is how this misunderstanding is known as thought process, and that is the root cause. And when it is repeatedly observed, then it takes the form of vasana, desires. And desires, of course, grossly, they are the root cause of the whole world, which creates attachment, which creates restlessness, and the whole life is spent to fulfill the desires only. And these desires further, they become the bondage for the individual being, and the being is eternally tied up with all these processes. This is how this world becomes a place of misery only. This is what Basit ji is going to explain to monkey, the ascetic, and he is again going on explaining it elaborately, vividly, with different examples and analytically, logically, from every angle. We were discussing अविद्या से बाधित वस्तु का परिणाम. We have to see today. We were discussing चारों ओर निरंतर प्रकाशित हो रहा चिन्मात्र रूप वेदनात्मा देह इंद्रिय आदि से भिन्न नहीं है. इसी प्रकार उसकी सत्ता का भान न कराने वाली अनादि जो प्रतिभा रूप भ्रांति है, वो भ्रांति ही आवरण शक्ति की प्रधानता से, अविद्या विक्षेप शक्ति की प्रधानता से भ्रम और फल रूप से वस्तुतः संसार रूप बनी है. We discussed in the beginning there are 4 causes of ignorance. One is samvedan and other is bhavan. So this samvedan comes afterwards, though it is influential cause in the very beginning itself. Because of this only bhavan takes place. This samvedan is the will to experience or see or feel itself. Who am I? How am I? What am I? Where am I? All these. So all these are felt by 5 ways. That is the Sabda, Sparsa, Roop, Ras, Gandha, the 5 matras, units of 5 gross elements: sky, air, fire, water and earth. To see it, to know it, when you get up, just as you get aware of yourself, that means your body, you are aware of your body, and then you feel your body, whole body you feel. Similarly, there arises a desire in the Absolute, which is not there actually. In reality, there is not such desire, but it appears as if there is. Just as something appears on something else, snake appears on the rope because of misunderstanding, or some clouds, patch of clouds in the clear sky appears and it disappears in a moment. Or if you muscle your eyes and see the sky, you see some black spots in the sky. That is due to your eyesight. It is not there in the sky. Similarly, because the Absolute wants to know itself, it is taken for granted. It is not there, just as the child accepts there is a ghost outside the gate and it is waiting to catch the children and take away to the dense forest in some caves by the influence of grandmother's story. Yes, there is some ghost, some mental concept, something which is not really there. Similarly, there appeared as it were some desire, let me be many, let me see myself. So that willpower, which is otherwise known as creative power, knowledge power, to know myself, it takes the help of 5 units to see itself. So they are the sound and touch, the form and the taste and smell. In this way, these 5 units of 5 elements. So this is the root cause. Then this process starts, that is called bhavan. So imbalance takes place. I want to see myself means I have to forget myself and I have to see my parts of my whole totality. The totality is forgotten and presence is forgotten. That absolute awareness is forgotten. That is divided in these 5 ways and it is limited. So the originality is forgotten. So what happens? The imbalance takes place. That is called the bhavan, that means the thought process, willpower. It goes on changing. I shall see this, I shall see that, I shall taste this, I shall touch this. In this way it goes on. That is called the thought process in different ways. And so it is the result of this willpower, samvedan, and afterwards when it sees itself within itself, then there is a relationship or feeling for each other. How For example, when I see my legs are swollen, that means the whole body, whole mind, everything is influenced by it. The eyes and the hand also, when I touch the feet, it is not normal, it is abnormal. So all these, they feel each other. This is called samvedan, feeling for each other and expression of it also. This is how samvedan is in the root and it is afterwards also. So they are, that means samvedan and bhavan both are related and cooperated. This is what we saw yesterday. देह इंद्रिय आदि से भिन्न नहीं है, लेकिन चिन्मात्र रूप वेदनात्मा, the feeling, the awareness of different parts of the body and their relations and their feelings for each other, all these happens after the thought process starts. इसी प्रकार उसके सत्ता का भान न कराने वाले, so it forgets the whole total awareness. I am not all these parts, I am the whole totality. That is forgotten. When I look at my hand, I forget the whole total body. Though I am the whole total body, the hand is not different from the body, yet as a part of the body, when the hand is seen, the whole total body is forgotten. So this forgetfulness which causes the enveloping aspect, it hides the whole total awareness. That is how, which is known partly, because of which the whole totality is forgotten. That's how it is known as forgetfulness or misunderstanding or ignorance, we may say. So what happens? It goes on multiplying. When you see the hand, then hand becomes many. One hand becomes many. The skin of it, the fingers, or the fingers, nails, and all the parts of the hand, everything is not one. One hand becomes many. When we see one, we see the parts of it, so we see many in one. This is how the misunderstanding happens. We misunderstand the one. This is called ignorance or misunderstanding, or finally it appears as the world. World means the names and forms which hides the reality within itself, the existence and the awareness of existence and the satisfaction, contentment of the knowledge of the existence. So these aspects, which is one only, Sat Chit Anand, is hidden as it were, forgotten as it were, by the name and form. This is called world. And this is the result of this ignorance. When one is seen, the other is forgotten. And this is how the difference is created, and changing phenomena goes on endlessly. And when one is seen, the other is forgotten. When the front is seen, the behind is forgotten. And this is how we proceed ahead. The past is forgotten, the future becomes present. In this way, slowly our time comes to exist. What is known as Kalana afterwards. We shall see it, but this is the process of forgetfulness, and that is called world. He says, because of this multiplicatory changing phenomena, this ignorance causes the world. अविद्या से बाधित वस्तु का परिणाम दिखलाते हैं. If there is ignorance, you don't know the reality. When the reality is not known, then what happens to the reality? When the reality is not known, what happens to that reality? That means it is a little difficult to understand. Reality is not seen. Then what will happen to the reality? Nothing, because we don't see it, but something happens. Yesterday we were discussing the same thing. When you don't see the reality, means, for example, when you don't see the rope, then what do you see? Something else other than the rope on the instead of the rope. That may be not only snake, anything. Something else which is not the reality. That happens to the reality. Reality is seen in different ways, not in one way, in many different ways. That's how the world takes place. When the reality is not seen, for example, we take the boy which is absent in the class. When the boy is not seen in the class, he is absent in the class, reality is not known, where is he? What happens to that boy? Boy is searched in different places in different ways. Maybe he has not come from home. Maybe he has gone to a playground or to riverside to catch fishes or to hospital because of his illness, or to his friend's house to plan some mischief, or to the some water place for swimming, or somewhere to catch some birds in the forest. So many things we can think, and we go on searching for the boy. That means to know the truth. Where is he? How is he? Where is he? To know the truth, we go on searching for the truth where this truth is not available. Unless and until the truth is revealed, till then we go on searching. That is what happens to the truth. It is seen mistakenly in different place where he is absent. This is how the absence creates the trouble. The moment the boy is found out, all the trouble is over now. So knowing the truth is the way to get rid of all these misunderstandings and searching for different places and all these ignorance, everything will get away the moment you know the reality. When the boy is found, nobody is going to search for him in other places. This is why, this is what happens to the reality. Avidya se badhit vastu, when the ignorance hides the reality, what happens to that reality? That is what we are going to discuss it still elaborately. बालक को बेताल की तरह सत की तरह भ्रमित हो रहा है असद्रूप यह संसार, परमात्मा तत्व के अज्ञान के सिद्ध है। अतः वह परमात्मा तत्व के ज्ञान रूप प्रकाश से ही क्षण भर में हो जाता है। ज्ञान रूप प्रकाश से ही वह क्षण भर में सिद्ध हो जाता है, मतलब दिखाई पड़ता है। When the boy, the small child, conquers some form, it creates some form in the mind of a ghost. What happens? What happens? Ghost is not there. His mind gets the form of the ghost. बालक की बेताल की तरह सत की तरह भाषित हो रहा है. The ghost appears as if it is real. The unreal appears as if it is real. So, just like the snake appears as the rope, instead of rope we see the snake, and snake creates all the troubles, all the misunderstandings. सत की तरह भाषित हो रहा है जो असद्रूप यह संसार, परमात्मा तत्व के अज्ञान के सिद्ध है. This world with name and forms, which is ever changing, which is not the reality, that is ignorance that hides the truth. अतः यह परमात्मा तत्व के ज्ञान रूप प्रकाश से ही क्षण भर में सिद्ध हो जाता है. So the moment it is taken off, the reality reveals itself. See, any object, if we take out the name and form, what remains? Just as for the example, the banana or any fruit. When we see the fruit, we know the fruit by its appearance. Appearance is due to its overlapping skin and the color or form of it. Say orange. What is called orange? Orange, without the skin, there is no orange. As per our daily day-to-day transaction, if we go to a fruit shop, we ask, give us some half a dozen of oranges. What do you say? What do you ask? Everything with the skin. And we pay for the skin with the name, it is called orange. When you say orange, he will not give you banana. Different objects have different names. So the object is specified by the name. This is this. Object when is associated with the name, then only it is known and it is brought into our daily transactions. We can have transaction with it, giving and taking. So orange is with the skin. When we go to enjoy what is orange, we have to take out the skin of it and even the seeds and other unnecessary parts of it, and we enjoy only the juice of it. That is the reality which is covered by all these unnecessary names and forms. It has a name called orange, it has a form and with the skin, and they hide the juice. So you may ask a question, why this hiding factor is there? What is the necessity of it? From one angle we may say this is necessary because it protects by hiding. Just as the envelope protects the inner letter, of course we have to tear it away afterwards, and we are concerned with the inside letter, and not only the letter, the subject of the letter, the purpose of the letter we are concerned with. Even the paper, and after reading the letter is useless. So we get the information from the letter. This is how the whole world is hidden, and it is necessary because the truth should be well protected. As per our what we can say, as per our little understanding, this is not the reality. The reality cannot be hidden. The sun cannot be hidden by the clouds nor by any other means. But our sight can be hidden. It can be interrupted to see the sun. Similarly, all these are interruptions only which hides the truth, and this is from one angle it is necessary. If it is not there, how can the truth be revealed? Other example we can see. Say if some child whom you are searching for, where is he? In your house. He is sleeping somewhere, you are not able to find him out because now it is time for sleep. So he has not taken food. He must eat and then go to sleep. Somewhere he is tired and he is sleeping, hiding himself with 2-3 blankets and quilts, everything. You are unable to search. If you don't search for him, can you get him? Searching for the truth is a must because you don't know. Because you are in ignorance. So ignorance needs ignorance to hide the truth because ignorance only can find out the truth. So he said, भेद पैदा करने वाली दृश्य रूप उपाधियों का बाद हो जाने पर सभी ज्ञानों में एकता आ जाती है, यह दिखलाते हैं. When all these overlapping process is taken out, the inside truth is same for everyone in all conditions at all time. The truth is one only. If some child is sleeping, he is not found. When he is found, will he be different for different persons? He will be the same. All the members of family will see him as one only, not many. When the hiding factors are taken out, the truth remains the same for everyone. It cannot change. But as long as it is hidden, people will be searching for him in different places. So different ideas will be on the reality. No, he must be sleeping on the cot. No, he must be sleeping somewhere in that corner. No, he may be sleeping in, he must have gone to his neighbor's house, to his friend. There he must be sleeping. Or he is hidden, or he is reading something. He is not found. You go on searching for him in different places. So that will be different in all conditions. But once the boy is found out, he is the same for everyone. That is what truth is one, but untruth may be many. So he says, भेद पैदा करने वाली means which creates the difference. दृश्य रूप उपाधियां, whatever is seen outside, that creates the difference. It hides the truth, so difference is created. Upadhi means the overlapping objects. That is name and form. उपाधियों का आत्म तत्व के ज्ञान से बाध हो जाने पर, when the cover is taken out, when the reality is known, ज्ञान हो जाने से, बाध हो जाने पर संपूर्ण दृश्य पदार्थों के ज्ञान बोध रूप से ऐसे एकता को प्राप्त हो जाते हैं जैसे धरातल के संपूर्ण नदियों के प्रवाह सागर में जाकर समुद्र रूप से एकता को प्राप्त हो जाते हैं. All these misunderstandings, all these manyness, they get together and become one when the reality is known. He gave the example just as all the rivers, riverlets, or all the water drops, they meet the ocean and they lose their identities and become one with the ocean. Similarly, when we know the reality, it becomes one only, which is all pervading, which is the container, the substratum for all these manyness which we are hiding it. Other example we may see, when the waves or the tides, whirlpools or the bubbles, the currents, they are taken out, what remains? Only one water which is same for everyone. It cannot be different for different persons. It is only water. All these differences merge in water. All these names and forms, the tides, foams, or bubbles, or the ripples, or the waves, or the whirlpools, everything, all these names and forms, they are different from each other, but they lose their difference when they become one with the water. They become water only. Similarly, when all these names and forms will be taken out, they will be understood properly, then all these names and forms, they melt in or become one with the reality, that is existence absolute and knowledge absolute and bliss absolute. Other example also. At dark night you saw the snake on the road. When the light came, somebody brought light and you see the rope, the reality you see. Where the snake has gone? Where did it go? Where from it came and where did it go? We may say in our language, this much we can say, the snake has merged in the rope. It has disappeared in the rope, because rope is instead of the snake now. There was snake instead of the rope previously. Now, after the light is there, the rope is instead of snake. So where has the snake gone? It has merged in the rope. This much we can say, because language is faulty. It cannot give you the exact situation. We can say this much. Do the waves merge in the water? Do they merge in water? But we have to say like this. There is no other language we can explain it. say there was some empty pot in the garden, earthen pot. Some children came and they were playing and the pot is broken now. What happened to the inner sky of the pot? What happened to it? We may say by language it has been merged in the whole sky. This much we can say, but it is not so. It has not changed at all. It is changeless sky. Sky is all pervading. It was there, it is there, it will be there. It was just appearing as if it is pot sky. It was held by the pot. Now the pot is gone. So the sky is not seen in a limited way as the pot sky. Now it is, ये देखो इसको बंद करें, लाल लाल So now this is the language you can use. The pot sky is merged in the outer sky, but it is not so. Language is faulty, it cannot explain the reality. Reality is beyond language. भेद पैदा करने वाली दृश्य रूपी उपाधियों का आत्मतत्व के ज्ञान से बाध हो जाने पर संपूर्ण दृश्य पदार्थों के ज्ञान बोध रूप से ऐसे एकता को प्राप्त हो जाते हैं जैसे धरातल के संपूर्ण नदियों के प्रवाह सागर में जाकर समुद्र रूप से एकता को प्राप्त हो जाते हैं. Manyness disappears and they merge in oneness. When I close my eyes and keep quiet, sit silently without movement, what happens to your feeling of your limbs, hands, legs, and ear and nose and all these parts of the body, what happens to them? They are forgotten. Only the whole total body is aware of. Isn't it? So they disappear in the body. They become one with the body. This is how we can say. Now he says, Chinmatra damala chunyadrite किंचिन अभिद्यते. यह जो कहा गया, कहाँ कहा गया? He says, यह जो कहा गया है इसका दृष्टांत से उपादन करते हैं. जो पहले ये कहा गया, जो अनेकता एक में समा जाते हैं. What he said before, all these manyness, all these many rivers become one with the ocean, or these many names and forms, they disappear in reality. That is explaining still further with other example. The same example of the pot he is giving. जैसे मिट्टी के बर्तन मिट्टी से शून्य उपलब्ध नहीं हो सकते हैं, वैसे ही सत्य चिन्ह मात्र में सांसारिक विषय भी चित्ती से शून्य उपलब्ध नहीं हो सकते हैं. He says he gives the example of course, the earthen pot, but in different way. When the pot is broken, what happened to the pot? It was from the clay. It became clay. It was clay, it is clay, it will be clay all the time. But in between, it took the form of a pot, which I not now seen. The pot is broken. What happens to the pot? What happened? It merged in clay, the cause. The effect merges in the cause. Similarly, we say after death of a person, our common language, the person has merged in 5 elements. Panchatva prapta kiya. In common language we say, mara bolne se it creates little negativity. So we say that person is not dead, but he has merged in 5 elements. Or we can say he has Sargat प्राप्त किया, और we can say मुक्ति हो गया उसका. He has been released from this world. In this way we use the language. So he says, when this pot is broken, what happened to that pot? The clay remained clay forever. It took a form in between, which was having the name of pot, and it had a shape also, name and form. So these names and forms, they merged in the original cause, that was clay. They have become, they didn't become, they are as they were, but we have to say like this, they have become, the pot has become clay. The pot was clay, is clay, will be clay all the time. But in between, because of the name and form, we called it by name, we behave with the pot by its name and form. You cannot keep water for drinking in the clay, but when it takes a form of a pot, then only we can keep the water. For behavior, relative transactions, we use these names and forms. But the original cause remains as it is in all the conditions.
So Swamiji, pot becomes clay again?
Yes. It didn't become, it was clay, it is clay, it will remain clay forever. It appeared from clay. Clay was the original cause, root cause, and the effect has merged in the cause now. There is no effect seen, only the cause remained as it is.
So the effect returns to the cause?
Pardon?
So the effect returns to the cause?
We may say like this, but there was no effect in reality. Cause and effect is taken in our relative life for giving and taking, for transaction, or else there is no cause, no effect. The effect becomes cause for another effect. Cause becomes effect, effect becomes cause, It goes on in the cycle. So which is what? What is what? The cause becomes the effect. The same actions become reactions. After a while, by the change through time, space and causations, conditions, it changes. The same action comes to you. You are going to face your action in the form of reaction. For example, when you have put a seed in the ground, it will germinate, it will give you a tree, and it will have flowers and fruits will give you many seeds. So seed has become seed, but in between it has undergone some changes, and this is called the effect. The cause has become effect. The language is used in this way, but the action has become action only. Cause has become cause only. Cause has not been changed into effect. But we see like this, we behave like this, we use the language to explain like this, which are not reality. The seed is always seed, but after some changes, in between, it takes the form of a sprout, and it grows by the different conditions of time, space and situation, heat, water and everything. Through all these it goes on changing, and finally again the seeds are yield. So your action has become reaction. It is again going to be action for another reaction. The same yield seeds will be used for again farming. More plants will be there, more seeds will be yield. So one goes on multiplying in this process. This is called the world process. This is only what is going on. One is appearing as many. The cause becomes effects. Effects becomes cause. This cycle is called world cycle. Everywhere, everything is going on in this cycle. So he gave this example, जैसे मिट्टी के बर्तन मिट्टी से शून्य उपलब्ध नहीं हो सकते, वैसे ही सत्य चिन्ह मात्रमय सांसारिक विषय भी चित्ती से शून्य उपलब्ध नहीं हो सकते. This world really remains as the truth, and it will become the truth. Other example also we can take, say, all these, whatever we see, names and forms, do they remain like this all the time? They go on changing. The final change is called dissolution of the creation. The final change. Final means temporary final. Again it will appear, again it will disappear. The sky is ever clear. So many clouds come and they hide the sky, and again they disappear. Again they come, see, every day we see. The clear sky is seen, again the clouds come. Now there is no clear sun, no clear sky. It is cloudy only. Similarly, all these names and forms, Gita में कहा ना क्या होता है, when the creator starts creating, at his day, all these beings with names and forms, they come out of it, and the end of the day, they merge in it. In this way, the creation and sustenance and dissolution take place every now and then. So, a creator creates hundreds of creations in this way in his lifetime. His lifetime is, of course, a lifetime, a span of time. And we shall come to that Kalana time, how the time is the cause for ignorance and the world. We shall come to it elaborately. We shall see time, space and conditions, causations and all these names and forms, which is the root cause for our misunderstanding, which hides the truth. When these names and forms will disappear, they will dissolve, what will happen? What remains in the end? What will remain? Something will remain. It cannot be nothing. So that something which holds all these names and forms within it in an invisible form, that is called impression or memories. Again it will omit out, it will project it out. If you have eaten too much, what do? Vomit it out. And what happens to your food inside your stomach? It remains in some way, invisible to outside. And when you vomit it out, it may come in the same form or in different form. So creations are created and again they disappear, they dissolve in the root cause. The root cause is, for the timing we may say, the universal creator. But the creator also is created by some cause, something. And absolutely, if we go, we reach the one causeless cause, where cause is effect, effect is cause. That is called the absolute, transparent, pure truth, where there is no cause, no effect. He says, all these creations, they disappear in the same truth, which is absolute awareness. The world disappears in it. Again, हम गीता में जो देखते हैं, भगवान कहते हैं मेरा प्रकृति दो किस्म का, क्या कहते हैं? एक परा, एक अपरा, एक व्यक्त, एक अव्यक्त. जो अव्यक्त है, which is not manifested, unmanifested, it is there. It is just like a seed, ready for strike up, ready for become a sprout. But that potency is in a dormant stage. It is there present. It will appear and again it will disappear in the form of seed only. The tree will disappear in the form of seed only. So this is how the worlds come out of the truth and they disappear in the truth. And in between remains that dormant state, ready for coming out again, projecting it out again. उसी को हम दूसरे भाषा में कहते हैं काल रात्रि अथवा the डार्क नाइट ऑफ सोल या क्या कहते हैं? The soul's night. Dark night of soul. Dark night of soul, where all the souls they take rest in the form of impressions. विचार करने पर चिन्मय, हाँ जी,
Swamiji, is absolute existence same as omnipresence?
yes, yes. Omnipresence, absolute means omni, which is all pervading, which is ever present at all conditions. That is, we say as absolute, beyond which nothing can be said.
And knowledge absolute is omniscience only?
Yes, yes. विचार करने पर चिन्मय रूप से स्फुरित हो रहे पदार्थों की चिदैक रसता ही अंत में चलकर प्राप्त हो जाती है, इस आशय से कहते हैं. सेम थिंग फ्रॉम डिफरेंट एंगल्स, बाय डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज, बाय डिफरेंट एग्जाम्पल्स इज गोइंग ऑन एक्सप्लेनिंग, क्लैरिफाइंग इन डिफरेंट वेज. जो वस्तु तत्व ज्ञान से ज्ञात होती है वह ज्ञान स्वरूप ही कही जाती है, क्योंकि विरुद्ध रूप होने से ज्ञानाभाव ज्ञान रूप से नहीं जाना जाता है. इसीलिए ज्ञेय और ज्ञान ये दोनों एक स्वरूप है. ज्ञेय एंड ज्ञान. ही सेज जो वस्तु तत्वज्ञान से ज्ञात होती है वह ज्ञान स्वरूप ही कही जाती है, क्योंकि विरुद्ध रूप होने से ज्ञानाभाव ज्ञान रूप से नहीं जाना जाता है. इसीलिए ज्ञेय और ज्ञान ये दो एक रूप है. नोन एंड नोएबल, known and knowable, both are one and the same. We use two words. Always we specifically say the language is defective, it is incapable to explain the truth, it has got limits. Language has got limit. The truth is beyond language, beyond speech, beyond mind, everything. Because all these are subject to change. The truth is not subject to change. So it is beyond change. And under the changes, the speech. One word will have so many meanings. One word can be used in different context in different ways, differently can be used, and many words can be used for one purpose. Different words can be used to explain one thing, and one word can be explained in different ways. In this way, when the words have got no real meaning, the meaning is understood only when the sound has the relationship or contact with the form. Then only words have some meaning. Do you know the meaning of Kuchandram? Kuchandram is a sound. It has got no contact with any object. It is no object nor any sort of taste or smell or form or nothing. It has got no meaning. Why? Because it has no contact with any object. If it will have some contact with any object, when the sound gets related with the object, then that sound is known as words or language, and that we use for particular time, for particular purpose, which is always changeable. The same meaning can be different in different time, different situations. The same good becomes bad after some time. The child becomes young. The young becomes old. East becomes west. South becomes north. Up becomes down. So all this, terrace becomes floor. Is it not? So what is the meaning really? It changes. Your terrace becomes a floor for the other floor. So, has it any meaning, real meaning? Terrace has got no meaning. Up has got no meaning. It becomes down sometimes. Above becomes down. Height becomes low, ditch. Everything has a relative meaning. It means something for some time at some conditions, and then it changes. So how can we give real meaning to any words? Language is faulty in this way. It has some meaning for some time in some condition which is useless. And what is the real language? Come on. Huh? Kya?
Silence.
Yes. Silence is the only language which holds all the languages. By silence you can speak everything. Our कौन है वो Dakshinamurti, the great guru, he explained everything by silence only. Do you know the story? And now it is time. Silence is the only language to explain the truth. Other language is incapable of explaining revealing the reality. So it is said beyond the language. Somehow tomorrow we shall see जो वस्तु तत्वज्ञान से ज्ञात होती है वह ज्ञान स्वरूपी है कहलाती है, और विरुद्ध रूप होने से ज्ञान का अभाव ज्ञान रूप से ही नहीं पा जा सकता है। इसीलिए ये ज्ञेय और ज्ञान ये दोनों एक रूप है। द नॉलेज अननोएबल, दे अपीयर एज if they are different from each other, just as we see the Tripurti triad. The doer, done and doing, it is only in the one, three aspects because of the change. The process is not different from the doer, and done object is not, it cannot be different from the doer. So, doer, done and doing, all these triads which constitute the whole world, it is nothing different from each other, they are one or the same. Just as we explained cause and effect, the same cause becomes effect, effect becomes cause, there is no difference. Similarly, the knower and knowable, or knowledge and knowable, they are not different from each other. Finally, we reach one when we go on analyzing in this way, contemplating in this way, analytically and bit by bit, every word wise, when we try to understand the reality, then all these dualism disappear into two. There is no dualism. Only one finally exists. That is the absolute one, that which is known as the truth. Knowable and knowledge. What is knowable? Say, come on, give some example. It is knowable. See, the story narrated in Yoga Vasishtha should be known. Should be known, it is knowable. If one goes through it, he will know it. It is knowable. Okay? When it is known, does it change? It remains the same. Gangotri is knowable. It is visible, it is knowable. One should see. Go to Gangotri and see how is Gangotri, what is Gangotri. After knowing Gangotri, going to Gangotri and seeing, visiting Gangotri, does Gangotri change? Thousands come and see Gangotri, does it change? So knowable and knowledge in this way are not different from each other. After it is known, it is called knowledge. And knowledge and knowable are not different from each other. So, if you want to know the world, you are not different from the world. And if you are going to know the truth, you are not different from the truth. Brahmavit brahmeva bhavati. When you know the object, you become it, either for a moment or eternally. That is different. Why it is different? Because generally our senses know an object for a moment only. They change because they themselves are restless. They are subject to change. So they cannot remain stable on the object for a longer time. So they just get contact and come back and change the object. That's how they become one with it for a moment. And this is how the yoga gives you the secret. If you want to know the knowable, you have to be with the knowable without change. Become it. When you become it, that is known as Sanjam in the language of Patanjali language, Yoga Sutra. Sanjam means one becomes one with the object, and then he obtains the complete, full, perfect knowledge of the object. He becomes one with it. If you think of the sun, you become sun, and then you get the knowledge of all the solar system and the stars and moons, everything. You become one with it. You lose your identity. So tomorrow we shall see further the knowable and knowledge. Yadi drashta adi triputi. We are going to same thing what we are discussing now. यदि दृष्टादि त्रिपुटी के बोध से आध्यासिक अभेद कोई कहे तो उसके मिथ्याभूत होने से एकमात्र अधिष्ठान ज्ञानिक रसता ही उसमें सिद्ध हो सकती है. In this way, just as the knowable and knowledge is one. Why we are discussing all this? Logically and analytically we are discussing all this. Knowable is the tree. Now you know the tree, okay? So there is no difference between the tree and you. In this way, if all the names and forms merge in you, when you see all these names and forms, then what remains in the end? You alone remain. You are the absolute truth. That's how the Vedas declare Tattvam Asi. You are that. When all the names and forms, they merge in you, in this way, knowable and knower or knowledge, they triads, they are one only. So whatever you are seeing, it is not different from you. You are one. You are not two. Can you claim you are two? From one angle, yes, I am many. I am the hand, I am the leg, I am the nose, I am the eyes. So I am many. But can you be eyes? I, plural I. Can I become plural in any way, in any grammar of any language? I is always singular. It is the absolute singularity. It is always the singular, so it will remain singular only. You cannot become many. You are not dual, not many. So you alone exist. Nothing else is there. This is how logically we can prove there is no world. You alone exist. The world is you, you are the world. That's how you are the God. God is world, world is God. Logically. And by analysis we are seeing how the names and forms, they merge in the truth. Just as we see the earthen pot or the sky inside the empty spot, In this way, many ways, when we analyze and see it bit by bit, literally, then all these misunderstandings, they disappear. This is the only way. Tomorrow we shall see further. यदि दृष्टा आदि त्रिपुटी के बोध से अध्यासिक जो दिखाई दे रहा है नाम रूप अभेद कोई कहे तो उसके मिथ्याभूत होने से एकमात्र अधिष्ठान अनेक रूपता ही उसमें सिद्ध ही हो सकता है. For example, we see different colors, different forms, different lines, different everything different ideas. They constitute the whole total picture, but basically are they different from the ground, the substrate one, that is screen, or the what do you call, the पहला कोटिंग करते हैं, पहला कोटिंग को क्या कहते हैं? पहला जो एक रंग लगाएंगे उसके ऊपर दूसरा पिक्चर बनाएंगे, हैं? बेसिक कोट. One color will be there. Say if you are going to write some information on the signboard, then you have to basic coat, background color, one color, and over that all other colors will be placed differently with different linings and different colors, having different ideas differently. Then only it becomes some information or letters or some picture. But are they different from the background color? They cannot be. When we go analyzing one by one, see, Hanumanji is sitting in the picture. When you see the color of the eyes, is that color different from the background color? No. Behind that black eye color, is there some background color that is not visible to you. When you take out that black color, go piercing through it. क्या कहते हैं गुरुजी? Piercing into it, between the names and forms, breaking down through it. When you go inside the background black color, behind that you will get the background color. It is there, and behind that background color, the screen is there, one behind another. Nobody can deny the screen that holds all these colors. In this way, when we analyze all the names and forms of the world, some great seers have said the Lord Vishnu or the Adidev, the first being has become all these beings. The primordial being, first being, he is nothing but He is a picture, where he has divided his body into three parts, Tribhuvan, and he thinks, I am these three divided bodies, Tribhuvan Vapusa, and he goes on making some, क्या कहते हैं उसको, tattoos, designing some, my name is so and so, my name is so and so. You see some qualities there. They will go on writing Ram, 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 Ram all over the body. Ram, 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 Ram. Some people, they write the kabach of their Ishta Devata on the body, all over. There is some idea that it will protect myself. So in this way, our Lord Vishnu has written all these names and forms on his body, and he is enjoying with the tattoos. His body is surface, and where he is abiding? In the water. And in the water he is hidden, he is sleeping. So all over the water. And where is water? Water is in fire. Where is fire? Fire is in the air. Where is the air? Who is the holder of air? The sky. And who is the holder of the sky? The idea of the sky. And where is the idea? Idea is in awareness. Yes, there is an idea. So in this way, that substratum holds all these tattoos. But because of our habitual, you see, lifestyle, as we think, as we have behaved with all these names and forms, we have been related with all these names and forms with I-ness, mine-ness, and agreeable, disagreeable, rejecting something and accepting something. This has become our lifestyle. Tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय. शब्द ब्रह्म की जय. सरस्वती महारानी की जय. जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय.